Welcome to Your Aunties Could Never. We're your favourite aunties on the internet. I'm Auntie AK, the auntie of all aunties. Make of that as you will. And I'm here with...
I'm FARRAH, the funniest, fantastical Grenadian in residence.
I am Nana, aka the Black Fairy, aka Dark and Lovely.
I was waiting for the extra bit.
No,
Coming up in today's show, we have...
Sade's not here today.
yes.
Oh, so I said it on the other one.
Yes.
Auntie Sade's not here today. She got a sore tooth.
Hurty.
We're not laughing at that. We're laughing at Auntie Farrah's dad jokes. Okay, coming up in today's show, we have got, as usual, enemy of progress. We've got welcome to the family, and we're going to solve some wonderfully, wonderfully crazy dilemmas in Aunties Know Best. And when we do all of that,
Right.
make sure you...
Boop the like button. 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 Boop the like button.
Oi, oi.
You got to boop it. And also make sure you subscribe, share the video, and leave us comments. And if you're listening on Spotify, leave us comments there. And if you're listening on Apple TV, not Apple TV, what is it?
Podcast.
Is it Apple Podcast? Because Apple Music as well, isn't it? When you're listening on the Apple, if you're using your Apple to listen to us, make sure you give us a 5-star review. We only accept
5 stars.
because
No
we
more, no
can't
less.
wait,
I don't know what that
can't wait another minute.
No.
5 stars.
I know, but no.
How come your dad jokes land?
Because when I said it, when I made the 5-star reference, it was actually funny. Just saying.
Oh.
Oh, exactly. Oh. All right, guys. Oh, gosh. You're going to be in a rush. Oh, I can't even speak. I can't even speak today. By the way, guys, also, have you signed up for our new YouTube membership? Have you?
We need some members.
We
You need to
members.
put that button.
Yeah. But the pay button. So this is where you'll get extra aunties. It's our new show, Extra Aunties. Imagine you get more of us. More of us.
Because your aunties are extra.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
So please sign up to the YouTube membership. It's how much?
It is $1.99.
$1.99.
$1.99.
Just $1.99.
You can't even buy a meal for $1.99.
You can't even buy. Sign up, it's a bargain. And to our Patreonies, we haven't forgotten you.
Not at all.
We had things, we were planning things, that's why we've been gone for so long. But we're back. So check your Patreon content. You'll see more extra aunties there too. Yes. So, okay, all right, let's get serious now. A lot's been happening this week.
Yeah.
Sadly, we have to announce that legendary songwriter and record producer Rico Wade, who produced for TLC, Dungeon Family, Outkast, 50 Cent, Future and Killer Mike. He unfortunately passed away at the age of 52. No known cause at the moment. I don't think that's been revealed.
No.
But really sad. I mean, that's no age at all. But also, speaking of music, Drake has finally responded to Kendrick. Rick Ross also accuses Drake of having a nose job and plastic abs. Comedian JERROD CARMICHAEL jokes that his white boyfriend is like his slave master. And according to a report, 95% of Black British adults cannot swim, and 85% of Black British children can't swim. Jaden Smith and Justin Bieber share an intimate hug at Coachella. The internet was not amused. And legendary British artist General Levy says he never received royalties for the classic jungle track Incredible.
That's wicked.
No, that's really silly.
Do you see what I mean, guys? This is what we've been up with. Your aunties could never, and uncle. But yeah, so we'll get into all of this in Extra Aunties. If you want to know our thoughts on all these things and more, you know what you need to do?
They need to sign up for $1.99.
$1.99.
$1.99?
Just $1.99.
We're going to be... Yeah, okay. All right, guys, let's get into who's our enemy of progress. Auntie Farrah, take it away.
Okie dokie. This is a little bit of a long one because our enemy of progress, or my enemy of progress, should I say, is Mr. Cameron.
Oh.
Mr. David Cameron, who is our foreign secretary. So he's my enemy because I don't know if you've been watching recently, but on the 1st of April, the Israeli IDF launched an attack on the Iranian consul in Syria, and it killed in Damascus, and it killed 16 people. And basically what Iran said is that that was an attack on their sovereign territory. And according to international law and the Geneva Convention, that was an illegal action by Israel. So according to international law, Iran have the right to retaliate under the act of self-defense. So 13 days later, they launched an attack. They launched about 300 missiles and more, all targeting Israeli military bases.
Yeah.
And during this time, all of Israel's cousins came to their defense and said that this is outrageous and helped them basically get rid of a lot of the weapons that were in the air.
Yeah.
Now, bear in mind, all of these weapons that Iran launched were very old. They didn't launch any of their new weapons. So they were missiles and they were slow-moving missiles. And they, as I said, they targeted military bases. So David Cameron was on a news conference and he was on being interviewed by Sky, I think it was. And he was asked the question, what would you do if this was you? And because he was condemning them. He said, they've launched 300 bombs. This is outrageous. It's reckless. It's dangerous. They shouldn't be doing this. It's inciting danger. You know, they're jeopardizing all these territories around them. It's unprecedented. All of these strong words he used to condemn Israel's actions, even though legally, Iran's actions, even though legally they were in their rights to do so.
Yeah.
So during the interview, he was asked the question, well, what would you do if they, attacked your consul? He said, fumbled a bit, but in the end he said, well, I would have strong actions too. So basically, the reason why he and the rest of the G7 and the Western world are my enemy of progress is because the hypocrisy is real.
Yeah.
They keep going on about Israel has a right to defend itself. Israel has a right to defend itself. Israel has a right to defend itself. It seems like that rule only applies for people that they want, because technically, Iran has a right to defend themselves. Whether you like their policies and politics and what they do to their people or not, international law states that if you attack a sovereign territory, the territory that has been attacked, by law has the right to retaliate. And that is literally what Iran did.
So he's stating basically that Israel can do whatever they want with impunity and nothing is excessive. Everything is justified because they're defending themselves.
Yeah.
But Iran can't do it.
Yeah.
I watched him on LBC talking to Nick Ferrari and he asked him similar questions. And one of them that he said, so Nick Ferrari out and out was like, so are you going to condemn Israel for what they did in Damascus? And he said, I'm not getting into what Israel has and hasn't done, Nick. That's what he said. I'm not getting into it. He had no words for Israel.
Of course he doesn't have any
Nothing
words.
at all. But all the smoke.
Right. So let's bear in mind, when he was condemning Iran and he listed the number of bombs that were dropped to an arsenal that was used in the attack, the Iranian attack, right? What he failed to do was condemn at least an estimated 45,000 bombs were dropped on Gazans in the first 3 months of the aggression.
Yeah.
Yeah? He didn't condemn any of that. He didn't condemn the fact that as well as bombing Gazans, they are bombing Yemen. They are bombing Syria. He hasn't mentioned any of these things. The US has also come out and urged for an immediate ceasefire for Iran to cease.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking to Iran directly.
Speaking to them directly and telling them to stop and desist.
Cease and desist. Basically. Cease, stop and desist.
Cease, stop and desist.
The thing with all of this as well, is that it's stoking international tensions.
Yeah.
I think we're on tenterhooks to see if we're actually going to go into World War III. And though there seems to be a lot more negotiation and a lot more calls for calm because, the G7 has said that we can't afford to go into world war. It's literally the price of war is what's on people's minds. Rather than the immorality and the nastiness and horrors of war, it's about, can we actually afford it? But if that be the case, that's what's on the table. Because those missiles and things that they're flinging at each other cost billions
Cost them
and millions.
1.4 billion.
You know what I'm saying?
To intercept it is crazy in itself.
Yeah.
That they have this power to do that.
Yeah.
That's one thing. But also it is that the Americans were there to back Israel
Exactly.
all the way with all of their flight. Like they were there to back this all down. Have you seen the footage of it?
Yeah.
When they're just shooting them down, it's like, so you guys can do this, but you'll allow things to rain down on Gaza.
Yeah.
So you're not there in humanitarian.
No, they're
effort.
not.
No, not at all.
Purely we are there for war.
They said their support for Israel is ironclad.
Yeah.
And they support them in their right to defend themselves. They said that
without measure. So
Yeah.
there's no measure to, because they're not saying that Israel's defending themselves is excessive, but Iran coming back with 300 is excessive.
Yeah, that's literally
That didn't land. What was it? Free landed. Nobody died.
Nobody died. Nobody
Most
died.
of them.
They intercepted all of them. And also, let's not forget, and I keep saying it, they attacked military bases. Now, this is Iran, who technically don't have the same sort of level of weaponry as Israel, but they can ensure that no civilians were killed. Meanwhile, Israel have killed 30,000 plus civilians in Gaza, and they're supposed to have the best technology out there.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. You know,
Enemies, everybody.
The enemies. Russia went on so basically during the Security Emergency Council, Security Emergency meeting, Russia was one of the people that came out and they said the hypocrisy and the double standards is almost laughable.
Yeah.
Imagine Russia's a bit of a moral compass.
It is.
Imagine.
It is laughable.
Imagine.
Because also Nick Ferrari did also ask him, he was like, so if you guys have this weaponry, you can stop missiles. Why are you not doing that for Ukraine?
Yeah.
Again, blah, 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 blah. Basically, when he got to the point, the reason why they don't do that, he's like, if NATO go and put their jets in Ukraine airspace, that would escalate it too far. And the world does not want that. What the world, and this is the whole thing.
Everyone on the tent, like on the edge.
I don't understand. See, if the world is really round and not flat, Russia is actually very next door to America.
They're right there because Alaska used to be part of Russia.
Exactly. So it's like when you're talking about the world does not want this, America doesn't want it because all they got to do is turn, bomb your asses.
The thing is,
It's very annoying that it even goes European way.
It does.
Like, can you two as neighbours face each other and do what you will?
So
sorry,
again,
Americans, but really,
leave us out of it. But then
leave us out of
not
it.
even us, the UK.
But once again, the only people that are truly losing are the Palestinians.
Yeah.
Because while all of this is going on, let's not get it twisted. Israel are still bombing the hell out of the Palestinians.
Yeah.
You know, daily. That hasn't changed. There was only one night of peace, and that was when they were being attacked and they had to focus all their energies.
And what happened to the ceasefire, the 2 second in Ramadan?
No one's talking about it now. No. Because of what's happened, their focus is on Israel having the right to protect themselves and defend themselves. They're no longer looking at the atrocities that are being taken place.
He mentioned that, so very subtly, he had a word for Israel. And he was like, this is on the table. There is a ceasefire. There is a deal on the table. And Hamas seem to be okay to negotiate. That we will release some of the hostages if you give us the wordings. They're hostages because they're saying prisoners, but they're hostages. They are like, we'll do a deal and we can do a ceasefire. It's Israel that are not going for the deal.
But it's been that from the very beginning. From the very beginning, at every point of negotiation, at every point where they're talking about a ceasefire, they've gone to Egypt, they've gone to all of these places and they've held meetings with people. At every point, Hamas have said, release the hostages, and we will release the hostages and let's have a ceasefire. They have never been against it. Not once have they said no. It's Israel that are backing out of it and saying they don't want to do it.
They just want annihilation.
They just want annihilation.
They want
their land.
They want their land. It's land.
There's conferences for people to go and build houses on the Gaza Strip already. Yeah. They're talking about relocating there already.
They're talking as if like this is theirs. It's just a matter of time.
It's actually scary to think though
that this can just happen.
This is happening in our lifetimes after everything that is like history that we're living through it, and the propaganda in the press, how they're reporting it, that you'll have politicians like we're all really stupid just talking about no, Israel can do this. And we should all be like, yeah, Israel can do this. Like, we're not literally watching a whole load of people being killed.
It'll be interesting to see that if, God forbid, it does move to, okay, it's World War III. How will the everyday person really, truly react? Because though they're playing in our faces, before, propaganda and the lack of communication and information had people signing up and going to war pridefully. I don't know. We're not the same people. Apart from the fact that we're not even trained, ready, or built for war anyway. Because have you seen all the memes about influencers at World War III? Hi guys,
just pudding.
Out on the battlefield.
Oh my God,
exactly. So there's that. But like, how will we truly react? Because we are not as blind, but we are also super apathetic to any type of rebellion. So it'd be interesting to see. I don't want to know, but I am kind of curious.
I mean, the curtain's been pulled again. You know, like we can see who's behind the curtain, who
we can see who the Oz
really is.
Yeah.
We can see who it really is, because for the first time it's been reported that there are sympathies to the Iranians in America, and that's never happened. And again, I'm not even saying that I agree with their politics and policies, because I don't. But if you attack a state, what do you expect them to do? So it's okay for and Israel are now coming out and saying, we will not let this stand. We can't let them do this to us. We will retaliate. But you already caused it.
Like you started, that's the whole thing of you started it. You know, their defense for starting it is that within the consulate, they were planning to help Hamas do a different type of strategy with getting into Israel. That's why they killed those people. That's what Israel was saying. So why could you not just go in there and arrest all of these people?
If you knew who they were.
And interrogate them.
And if that's the case, they are supposed to approach the UN, they're supposed to approach the Security Council first to actually say, this is the evidence that we have, and we want to go and proceed with this action. They didn't do that.
No, you just went in.
You just dropped bombs.
It's the fact that nobody is condemning them about this.
Because
like
is Israel the richest country in the Middle East?
No, far from it.
So then, because I want to understand, I just want to.
They are the absolute ally to America and Britain.
I understand that. But what's their? Because what is their thing? What have they got?
If you lose Israel, they don't have any airspace. So they're not allowed to be there. So they need that
Israel
space. Because where Israel is, it borders all.
Everything.
It's Jordan.
That's why they wanted it.
Yes,
in
so
the
you
first
have
place.
to have that land.
That's why Palestine is so valuable, because of its location.
That I understand. But I just wanted to know, what is it what has got US and UK in a chokehold?
It's almost like, so with because you know a lot of things do go down to the British as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whoever these people are, let's just call them British. But definitely having America, that's just a proxy of Britain. It's the same thing. And then you moved into, okay, then we have Israel. It's the same placing of people, and then they serve you. That's all it is. So they can't let this go. They will, even giving us lip service, like, oh, there's a ceasefire on the table. They are telling them, you bomb the hell out of these people.
Yeah, absolutely.
How many decades, how many decades ago did Biden stand up in Congress and say, if there wasn't an Israel, we'd have to invent one?
Yeah.
He stood long before he was even trying to be
president. We need to never forget, bumbling Biden is an absolute evil
Zionist.
C-word. Like, we need to not forget that this man, and now he's all dithering about. To me, he is worse than Trump. Worse than Trump. They're from the same cloth. So when
that's
people
what it is.
Same cloth.
They're cut from the same. They're cut from the same cloth.
Oh, Biden's been doing stuff in America, and he's had way more power than Trump ever has. And I think people forget that. Like,
they do, because the
guy has been around for like 50 years in politics.
Because he was sanctioned by Obama. That's where people are forgetting.
What he was up to.
Everyone's forgotten.
All of them. But honestly, it's like Biden ain't the ones that we should all be like, oh, you know, but he's the best of the evils. They're all flipping evil. And he's been evil for a very long time.
FYI, Trump's trial starting. We will come back to that probably next week.
Yeah.
Nana, who's your enemy of progress?
Okay, right. So my enemy of progress is Davido.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
He's my enemy because I hate that a black man is out here continuously disgracing a black woman and their marriage. It's been years now. It's like, it's cool if you guys have an arrangement, but none of us ever need to find out.
Yeah.
So another girl, picture and video has been leaked of her canoodling with Davido in America. Her name is Gorgeous Doll. She says her brethren, she put the stuff in the group chat, and there's only 3 people in the group chat. One of her brethren decided to put it on stories. Gorgeous Doll, you know you told your brethren to leak it. But anyway, this is what she's saying, and she's sticking by it. So her friend put it out there. She says that she messaged her friend and was like, why did you put that out there? Now all the blogs are coming after me. Like, take it down. It never got taken down. people shared it. Also, she says that they are close, and that she didn't know that he is married, but they're not in a relationship together. I'm not blaming the girls. I'm blaming Davido and his loose penis. Like, just tie it up. Don't take pictures. Don't get into videos. There are loads of people that cheat on their wives, and they do it discreetly.
Has he not heard of an NDA?
Like, what's wrong with him?
He thinks it means no dick around here.
You're going to get banned.
I know.
No, we need him to be better. I need Davido to be better.
Just be
a better,
yeah.
be a better man, be a better husband. Like, didn't Chioma just have a baby as
Yeah.
well?
And they've been through some losses as well.
Yeah.
Two babies.
And they've had a
man.
serious loss. It's like, where's the respect?
Just treat her better.
Because
Just
the
treat
thing
her
is, it's
better.
like you said, they might have an open relationship. She might be all right with this, but it doesn't need to be open so that the world can see
And
you're not respectful.
And to the point where I know it's like you either respond or you don't respond, you ignore, ignore, or you ignore whatever. But at this point where everyone's got so much to say about your relationship, putting mouth on your stuff, this is a mother of your children. I think just put out a statement, say say something and then stop the behaviour.
He's
But
not gonna stop the behaviour.
picture is so huggy, like it looks like you
But
lot are in
that's
a
his
thing. That's
My point. He's not going to stop the behaviour. Clearly, he's allowed to have gyal, or he doesn't care what his wife thinks.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't give a shit what his wife thinks, and he's going to do what he's going to do. And she's got the babies, and she's focusing on that. And she won't leave him. He knows this. And as for the girl that's saying that she didn't know that he was married, did she know that he was Davido? Did she know? Did she know?
They're saying that he's only just blown up in America.
Okay, so
Don't go.
So you're no, it's not even that. You're telling me you meet a guy and he's an artist and he's a musician. You're not going to Google him.
That's what I'm saying.
You had to just do one button. She didn't even need to type in the whole of Davido. I guarantee you, Google would have started listing him and all his events as soon as she put DAV. It would have been in there. She would have found out.
And
Come
wife
on.
would have come up. And
Definitely
Yeah.
wife and
Children, mistresses.
Yes.
Would have
Yeah,
come up.
definitely everything
Does she
would have
have
come up.
access to the Shea Borough?
But also, what we're also got to get into is that everyone is talking about the women and not Davido himself, which is why he needs to step and face his front. Because everyone's like, the women, you girls, yes, fair enough. You would know and don't act like you didn't know. But Davido, just do better. You don't need to have your penis everywhere. You don't.
He doesn't need to, but he wants to.
Let's just have some respect there. Because also it is like, these look like lovely girls, but they look like they're out there as well. And Chioma doesn't seem like she's that. So you've got your wife. You know what your it's just very loose and fast. And it's like, come on now.
And how old is Davido now?
He's too old for this.
Yeah.
That's the part as well. You've been famous for a long time. Isn't this old now? Don't you guys get to a point?
His dad is a billionaire, so he's
A playboy.
He is a playboy rich kid. Most definitely.
I get
Okay.
it. But,
But
after
he's
a while,
also a man now and a thorough father. There are a lot of
Yeah, that's true.
Because you don't have to get, and it's another thing that guys do. You don't have to get married. Like, you don't have to have.
No, because he wants a wife.
No, I know.
He wants to have a wife at home.
They want-
but
yeah.
he wants to find and conquer as much pussy as possible. That's what he wants to do. It's facts.
I mean, maybe she is okay, but I'm just have some respect
That part.
for your marriage and what's going on, and your family and your children. Have some respect.
Yeah.
They're going to have to learn about this as well. They're going to read
Gonna
about
see
it.
it.
And that's okay. So my enemy of progress is Caitlyn Jenner. Yeah. And yeah. And she's enemy of progress because OJ Simpson has passed away at the age of 76 from prostate cancer. We all know why OJ is famous. First of all, being a very legendary, iconic sportsman. However, controversy of all controversies, he was accused of murdering his ex-wife and her friend Ron Goldman, Nicole Simpson. But then he got off, famously, infamously got off in a very, very highly televised trial. However, lots of people have come to the conclusion that even though he was found not guilty, he was actually guilty. We'll get into that. However, Caitlyn Jenner, who was a friend of the family at the time, actually all the Kardashians and everything were friends with the Simpson family at the time, she's always maintained that OJ is guilty. And so when he passed away, her first tweet was, "Good riddance." She's enemy of progress because she's enemy of progress anyway, because she's problematic, a very problematic right-wing aligned type person. So, it's easy to call her enemy of progress. But I felt it was in poor taste. How do you guys feel? Or is it, justified because it's OJ and she was so closely aligned to the family? I feel like it's a bit of a sticky one.
Nah, it's not a sticky one. It's in poor taste. Somebody passes, whatever you feel, cool. Like, if you're like, I hated this man, you hated him, innit? But to tweet good riddance when he has kids who were there when he passed, who his family, the kids, that's disgusting. And you also killed somebody yourself. So it's like, nah.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And that is exactly my thoughts. You summed it up beautifully. The man had children. You know these children. The only person he answered to was either in heaven or hell. He had to answer to God. The moment he passed, that's what he had to do. It wasn't up to her to tweet it. And if that's how she felt, she can feel that way with her entire chest. I was going to say something rude. She can feel that way with her entire chest. But basically, it's the fact that she tweeted it. You don't need to tweet it. Go and ring Kris Jenner up and tell her that's how you feel.
Do they even speak?
Have it amongst your circle that's how you feel. But to tweet it to the world, it's in poor taste. His children had to see that.
Yeah, just to say that in 2015, Caitlyn was in a car accident that resulted in the death of another driver. She settled with the victim's family for the amount of $800,000. Despite recommendations for charges, none were filed due to insufficient evidence. So, Jenna suggested that the paparazzi were hounding her, which is why she lost control of the car, and thus the death happened. I mean, yeah, to be fair,
I doubt the family cares.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, whatever your motive,
whatever was behind
they
that.
lost a family member, and that was at your hands. So you can't really be talking about it. And he was. It's weird though with OJ because it is like I remember I was probably about 15 when this was all taking place, and it was big news.
Yeah, 94,
and I don't remember watching it properly, but I did want him to get off.
I had that
black
thought.
I wanted him to get. I wanted him to get off, and I wasn't really following the evidence properly at all.
Same.
Because I think I definitely was, and I think it was around the time I was in the hairdresser, working in the hairdresser. We used to watch Oprah. We used to watch those. I was very American in that world, and it was a big thing. And it was like the Rodney King verdict. It was and it was kind of like, I think if I got my timeline right, it wasn't justification for Rodney, but it was kind of like that feeling of Rodney King, if you didn't know, he was a guy that was beaten up by the police and the police got off. And so OJ getting off was kind of like, boy, we're going to ride with our dude and then it is what it is. Kind of like, and because it stoked so much racial tension. And America was like a tinderbox of racial tension.
It absolutely was that. It absolutely was that. Rodney King got beaten up, and the only reason we knew about it was because it was caught on camera.
Yeah,
that's the early days of catch on camera.
Properly,
right?
Camcorder. Exactly.
So, and that's why we found out about it. So when the OJ thing came up, it definitely was a matter of everyone black, because I don't remember watching the case. I remember hearing about it. I knew it was going on. There was Johnny Cochran. You knew, like, this is something big. It's OJ. Can you believe this is happening? I couldn't say that I could say that I felt that he was innocent or guilty. I just knew there was everyone black wanted him to get off.
Yeah.
And
felt like they just went after the black man.
Yeah,
that was how it was being portrayed to us. It's only now, and then history is written by who's writing it, innit? So when you watch things on it now, I am like, dubious.
There was a lot in it, and it seems like a consensus. And I think they did polls where it's like 65, 45, whatever. For now, there are more black people saying, "Yeah, OJ did
may
it,"
have done it.
And people even speak like OJ did it, but he got off. And key part of the team was Rob Kardashian, who was a good friend with OJ, and that's Kim Kardashian's dad. Then you also had Johnny Cochran, the legendary, iconic lawyer,
who died from cancer.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, yes. And, the infamous, if it doesn't fit, you have to acquit. And that's when the glove that was evidence at the scene didn't fit OJ, even though they said there were shoes. There were things that weren't entered into evidence, which is why there was a civil case later on, which he was found guilty and he had to pay millions to the Goldman and Nicole's family, Brown. Nicole Brown was original. So that he owed them millions and he died owing them millions still. So they haven't got their money.
Paid.
I think OJ really didn't help himself in some of the interviews that he did afterwards. There's a famous interview that he did with Ruby Wax.
Yes. Oh.
And
that's wild.
And after the interview, he's like, I'm going to do something really special for you. Yeah. And she's like, what are you going to do? So he comes to the door, she opens the door and he's there and he's going,
why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
You know what? It's now we know about CTE. back then, that weren't even a term. Nobody knew. Like NFL, you don't even know that these people are getting concussions after concussions, that they probably have brain damage. If it was now and this took place, they probably would do brain scans on him. And I do think for his personality, he is a candidate for CTE. And his family also, at this moment, were like, don't do an autopsy on him. We don't want to know if he does have CTE.
Yeah.
But I think everything shows he probably does. And he was prone to excessive aggression, which we now know is a part of it.
Yes,
So,
and lots of NFL players have had domestic violence cases.
Yeah.
Loads of them. Yeah, that interview was wild. And he had the cheek to write the book. Cheek,
If
it
I
is
did
cheek.
it.
If I did it. He wrote a book saying, if I did it, that gave all the hypothetical ways, if he did kill Nicole and Ron, this is how he would do it. I mean, that's wild. It got stopped from being published, and then the Goldman and Brown family got together to publish it so they could get money from it. And they changed the title. So I can't remember.
The I was really
Yeah,
cool. So it was like,
something like that.
I
So,
did it or something.
Yeah,
It was
if
very
I did
weird.
it or something like that. So there's all this, but I must say, however you feel, one of the best documentaries I've ever watched is OJ Made in America. It is extremely long. I remember watching it in a whole day. It took me the whole day to watch it. But it's one of the best documentaries, just the way it was made, the way it captures the story, the way you really understand how he grew up, what he grew into, and how he possibly became a murderer or possibly became someone that could be accused of murder. But it's a very, very, very good documentary.
watched that.
It's so good. Just the way it's made. And yeah, you see what he grew up. He grew up at a time where being black was a problem.
I mean, he's not OJ. He's not black.
I'm
he's
not
just
black, I'm
OJ.
OJ. And that's the thing that a lot of black people in the public eye kind of aspire to, where their colour isn't the thing. It's their celebrity, their skill, their talent.
Didn't Tiger Woods say something similar?
Yeah.
He's like, he's not, he's
Very,
Cabin,
very,
he said he's
very
Cabin
much so.
Asian. He said he didn't want to be identified as black only. But it's that thing where the black shouldn't be the thing. It should be secondary to your talent when it's not when it comes to us. And OJ rose above that. He became the juice, and everyone, he just kind of got
He was in Naked
welcomed
Gun
in.
films. He was
he was
everywhere.
everything. He was
So
acting,
popular.
commercials.
big.
He was
Yeah,
super
he really
big.
was.
He shouldn't really be the person that black people championed. Really,
all.
how he was, and, and shit on black people. He should not have had our support. He's just lucky that came after Rodney King.
Definitely.
Really, it's like the stars aligned for everybody to be sick and tired of justice and be like, we just want to win.
Yeah.
And he became that win. Does he deserve it? I don't actually think so. And he probably did do it. Or down the conspiracy theory streets, people are saying it's his son.
Yeah, people said it's his son.
The oldest son.
Yeah. If you watch the documentary,
Or both
there's
of them.
Yeah, that they had a hand in it.
them together.
Yeah,
Okay.
them together.
I say watch the doc.
I don't know.
It's a brilliant doc. Just one quick question. Because everyone was like, on his deathbed, he didn't confess. They were waiting for the confession that didn't come.
No, that's not true. We don't know what he said on his deathbed because he made all his family, everyone that visited him, sign an NDA.
Okay.
So he could have very well confessed.
Well, we don't know what was said. He didn't.
It's not public.
It's not
It's
public.
not public.
So if you were in the room and you got told the truth,
What he did it.
what would you do? And you were offered 20 million to break the NDA. What would you tell?
And I'm a family member.
You're just you.
Me, yes.
But if he's smart, the clause in the NDA will be if you tell, how much do you have to pay? What's the fine for?
What would you?
It could be not worth it.
Because you could get a fine, but then you could make millions of being the person that was.
But it could be millions that you've got to pay back.
Yeah, okay.
It could be whatever you take.
But
10
you could
times
be
that amount.
infamous. Like, if you were the only one, not even that anyone, you were the
everyone-
only one. Imagine if you were the only one he told.
I can't lie.
Nana's taking it.
I'm taking it, and I'm
You
going
go
to suffer
do
the
jail
consequences.
time,
Yeah, it's jail time. I'm going to do the jail time, and my family get the 20 million. I will take one for. I always wanted to be B from Prisoner Cell Block 8.
Oh my
anyway.
God.
Oh my God,
So,
B, not
yeah.
B.
Not B.
Yeah, the top dog.
Yeah,
Not B.
but
B
B
had
though.
issues.
But yeah, all right, guys. Onto Farrah. Who's your next enemy of progress? We must move through these quickly now, and this is a long one.
Oh, where's the dot?
It's the Rachel Riley and Julie Hart.
Oh yeah. Oh
Sorry for that.
yeah. So
It's a lot. This one.
Yeah.
my next enemy of progress is Rachel Riley and Julie Hartley. I think that's how you say it.
Hartley Brewer.
That's it, Hartley Brewer.
Yeah.
And basically, they are my enemies because they've been doing what they do to spread Islamophobia. So there was a tragic stabbing that took place in Australia, and without even knowing who did it, Rachel Riley tweeted that this is what happens when extremists take over. You know, she basically tried to make out like it was a
brown person.
A brown person, thank you, couldn't find my words. A brown Muslim person specifically that did the deed. And then it turned out it wasn't a brown Muslim person. It wasn't a brown person at all. It was a white man that did it. And so she came out afterwards and she was basically like, first of all, she wasn't saying anything. And then the internet was going wild and saying, how very dare she, and this is all racist, and started showing all her receipts of racism and Islamophobia. And then she came out and made a statement, which wasn't really an apology. And then Channel 4 came out and made a statement, which said that, shut up, everyone, we should forgive her. So the reason why she's my enemy is all of that. And she's on a platform. She's got a massive platform. People watch her all the time. And all she does is spout nonsense. She also went on record as saying that she has friends that have seen the videos from the attacks on October the 7th and they saw the babies cut out of the womb. She's gone online and said that.
God,
she's not seen nothing because that's been proved not true.
Yeah.
So she's lied openly as well. So for all the lies that she's spouting and clear Islamophobia, she's my enemy. She needs to go in the bin and she no longer needs to count down to anything apart from maybe the doll.
You see, it's Rachel's on Channel 4 and then Julie Hartley Brewer is also, she's on Talk TV, so we know where
that's
her,
it, isn't it?
her stuff's a lie. And she also did stuff as well. And she also similarly shared a tweet without having information. And what's another, I'd like to throw in the media who are being biased about this attack.
The other thing as well is that, so this is what's very interesting. When they discovered that it was a white person that did it, they said he has mental health issues.
Yeah.
He couldn't get a girlfriend. Poor him. Let's cry for him, really. Isn't it sad what's happened? It's tragic. It's not terrorism. He's not linked to any terrorist community. He's not linked to any religious community, extreme community. He's not linked to any of that. Poor guy. A couple days later, another attack happens.
In a church.
Similar scenario in a church. Immediately, they called it an act of terrorism.
Yeah.
So terrorism tends to be...
This guy was a brown guy.
Yeah.
And that was a brown guy. So terrorism is basically linked to the colour of your skin and your religion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And terrorism is linked to who it is that are who's saying the word. How come this single individual who committed an atrocity is 16 years old? I think he was.
The young boy that
The
did
young boy in the church.
The young boy in the
Australia.
church is
So
16 years old.
Yeah.
He is a terrorist, whereas the other person...
40-year-old Joel Colchi.
Yes. 40.
A 40-year-old man is not a terrorist.
Killed people.
Killed 7 people.
It's actually crazy. Because
And he actually killed a Muslim guy as well.
He did.
The 16-year-old
A Muslim-
stabbed people.
Yeah.
And that act is called terrorism. Nobody has died.
No one's died.
They just had stab injury. But then the one that has killed people...
And a child, right,
When
as
do we
well,
ever
wasn't it a
have
baby?
their parents coming forward to give their backstory of, I've dedicated my life to my child. He has been mentally ill for so long. I worry. I can't sleep. I haven't been able to work because I've been looking after my child. Then the mum comes along on TV as well, saying the same thing. Like, he's just a really troubled boy. When do we have parents advocating for their kids that has killed somebody?
Given
When do we have
space
that?
to
Given
advocate.
space.
Nobody's heckling them. That we can wait for the dad to start crying.
Yeah.
For the mum to be like, I mean, I just want to apologize to everybody. This is a parent's worst nightmare. Humanized to the core.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like to the point where you're now watching, like, oh,
Poor guy.
so sad, you know.
And you're forgetting the fact that he attacked 6 people, killed,
Killed.
and the 9-month-old baby who was injured. The baby's mum died trying to protect the baby. Let's not forget
And
that.
Rachel Riley, the only Muslim in that scenario, was a security guard who actually tried to save them.
Yeah.
A security guard who was working his second shift, I might add. A security guard who had no family there and saving his money and sending it back, and it was a member of the community who tried to save these people. That was the only Muslim person in that scenario, and he died.
Why does she still have her job?
Why is she still on
Both of them. Why don't they have their jobs?
I mean, it's Talk TV, so I expect Julie Hartley Brewer to still be employed by Talk TV. But for Channel 4, to come out with a statement like, we have just told Rachel that she has an obligation
She's had a smack
to
on the
the
wrist.
network. That's it. And she can carry on with all of her tweets and everything she said. If she had said that about a Jewish person,
100%.
she'd be out straight away. Done. We're not
She
seeing her
wouldn't
again.
even have time to tweet an apology.
It's disgusting and it's too blatant now. It literally is like, no, Channel 4, who prides themselves on diversity.
I mean, they've
and
lost
being
that mantle
inclusive.
for a long time now. It's
What the
gone.
hell?
It's definitely not the Channel 4, definitely not the 80s, definitely not the 90s, and now it's just not.
But I can't see
Yeah.
how you can justify this because it's just blatant racism.
Yeah.
It's not even like hidden a little bit. Could be racist, maybe not. That's just blatant racism.
That was.
The man was a white man. You
And-
were spreading false
had no
information.
evidence.
And she had no. Okay. All right. Moving on, because also media kind of deathly silence as well on this horrific murder. First of all, the enemy of progress is Maxwell Anderson, who's currently jailed for the murder of 19-year-old black girl. So let me be clear. Maxwell Anderson, a white 33-year-old man, has been jailed for the brutal murder of a 19-year-old black girl, Sade Robinson. So he's been charged with arson, murder, and the mutilation of a corpse. Sade disappeared after a couple of days and not turning up to work. A friend started the investigation, what's going on? Where's my friend? Sade's body part was found at a park. This is in America, by the way, Milwaukee. And her burned out vehicle was found nearby. Anderson's been arrested for it. But what hasn't happened is, global media kind of going in, it's like talking about what's happened. This is horrific. It's weird. It's not a normal type of, not that there's normal murder, but it's not of the norm. He did some real vile acts, but this isn't everywhere.
And he met her on a dating app.
And he
right?
met her on a dating app as well. So there's not the outrage that would be if, come on, the easy false equivalency is if he was a black man that it's a white girl, there'd be outrage.
Oh my God. It would be absolutely everywhere if the roles were reversed. A 33-year-old black man had lured somebody on their first date and lied about who he was.
Right.
And it was a white girl and he had killed her to this fashion. It would be worldwide news.
Yeah.
It's out there in America, but the way they're reporting it is so matter of fact. So this date happened and this guy seems to be a psychopath. It's very lily-livered. Okay, so this has taken place. There's none of the, how do we protect our kids?
Yeah.
Usually, the hysteria.
Yeah.
She's 19. She's a teenager.
She's a baby. And I think also the commentary, because this is where social media gets nasty and ridiculous. Commentary is like, why did she see it? Look at him. Why did she want to go on a date with him and all that type of stuff? That's not the importance here. What's important is that a grown-ass man, went on a first date with a young girl and killed her, murdered her, brutally murdered her.
And mutilated her.
We can talk about safety. We can talk about dating safety, of course. We can explore those things, but there's no need to be victim blaming, talking about her taste. It's not that. That's not the issue right now. We need to protect our young, especially young girls who are going on dating apps and prey to manipulative, evil, wicked bastards.
And how many other people has he done shit to?
I just thought the same
Honestly.
thing now.
Realistically, this is the one he's gone that far with.
Yeah.
Black women are going missing all the time. The numbers are staggering.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that have family where people are looking for them.
Yeah.
Really, is anybody actually checking up on this dude? He could be a serial killer.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying.
Those sorts of crimes, they are a build-up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't just wake up one day and you do that. You have to get to a point that you've...
There could be a whole load of
escalated.
people, sexual assault has taken...
All that.
I guarantee you there
he's
is.
a deviant. He needs to... And that's the thing where it's I swear, if he was black, the way it would be...
Honestly.
His family would be being interrogated.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Where has he lived? All of this would all be out there.
Yeah.
This guy just seems to be he's a loner.
We're gonna,
as they always
He's
are.
got mental
the
health
loner.
issues.
and his mental health is definitely going to come to the forefront. We'll keep an eye on this, and just much love, condolences and peace to the family, to Sade's family, because even seeing her mum speaking on the news was absolutely heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. And our final enemy of progress is...
So, last week, I brought forward an enemy of progress of the name of Miss R Fabulous. And Within maybe 24 hours, 48 hours, Miss Our Fabulous decided that 2-minute segment where I was wishing well on this girl, I was like, I want you to be better than you are. She decided that we were trying to tear her down. I don't know how. All I said was, do better because you're too old. You're getting older, be a better woman. But anyway, she decided that she was going to go in and she was going to gun the aunties for a whole hour. We spoke about her for less than 2 minutes.
It was 90 seconds.
No gunning took place. Realistically, we do not do that, and we do not go in on black women's physique. But she decided that she was going to do that. I'm not even going to highlight all of the things that she said about us, but she went in. And we know that Miss Our Fabulous can say suck your mum and put this middle finger up your asshole. We know she does all of that. And that's what I want her to be better at. So she proved me right. She is an enemy of progress because I want her to be a better woman. She's now got a business. She's selling. I also have done exactly what she's doing. So I wanted better for her. But the girl is still a child and I'd still wish her well. I still want to support her. And all I was trying to do was give her a bit of advice that realistically, chick, going out there, talking about suck your mum, do this, I'm going to bang you up, does not get you sales. It isn't going to be the strategy to be a millionaire. It's not going to be the strategy to win at life. And I want you to win. That's my thoughts on her.
I think that's that on that. Unless you have a little bit to add.
All I was going to say is I stand by my comments last week. That's that.
I stand by mine. And I missed the fire. I mean, I take it because my sisters are my sisters. You can't talk about my sisters and not affect me. So it doesn't matter that you thought that I was on your side. I got the joke, but I do want you to do better. And I think that some of your words were super disrespectful, Miss Our Fabulous, if you happen to watch this. Super disrespectful and way above and beyond what anyone said in this space. We are aunties. We want our young sisters to do well. That's all. You don't have to agree with us. Sometimes aunties get it wrong, but in this case, we did not get it wrong. Passing you advice.
Sometimes aunties are annoying.
Sometimes
everybody's annoying.
Sometimes
Isn't it that?
It's just that. All right, let's talk about welcome to the family. Sage. This is why I wore green today. All right. Welcoming to the family. First and foremost, she's my baby girl, Nella Rose.
Oh.
Nella Rose is like my child, and that's because my child, who's here, hi baby. I grew up watching.
You grew up?
Yes, I grew up watching Nella Rose through my child growing up, and Nella Rose has just been my baby girl, and I love her journey. She's the cutest, sweetest thing, and she took a minute off YouTube, but now she's back.
3 years, wasn't it?
Yeah, she took a little minute, 3 years off. So she's been on YouTube. She was on YouTube since she was a teenager in uni, and now she's 26 years old. She's grown now. And she did a little comeback video. So I'm back. I took a little break. It was meant to be a year, but it turned into 3 as life goes. And at the time, she was like, I want to take a break because she did the kitchen commentary when she was at uni. Then she moved on to doing hauls, like trying on clothes and reviewing them back and doing things like that. And she said it started to get stale, started to feel bored of it. And she was a bit concerned on whether or not this was a long-term thing. Could she be on YouTube forever? So she had a moment. So she thought, okay, what can she do? Let's take her talents to TV, which she did. I have to list all the things she did. She did MTV Catfish. She hosted the BET Awards. She had hosted the Brits Red Carpet 3 times.
That I didn't know.
Yes.
I was watching her, I was like, amazing.
Yeah. And she had her own show, a BET show called We Do That with Harry Pinero.
Yeah.
And she won a Mobo Award for Personality of the Year. And then the big one, she did I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, where that took her into the homes of the middle England, as they call it. So she just said that doing that, even though it was hard, and also, as they always say, the editing edited. So all the controversies that she came into when she was on Celebrity didn't particularly put her in a great light. But she said she doesn't regret it. It done wonders for her. She's got a family of friends. She said she's friends with everybody on the show, despite what you might think. Yeah. But she just said she grew. She became more of a household name, and now she's back to YouTube, taking control, and she's ready. So I'm just saying, welcome back, Nella, baby girl.
I loved it.
You have to come here. So yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We need to chat with her. I loved it. I watched it twice just to get
she's
all
a
of
cutie.
the points in there. And obviously, like me and Auntie Sade did review when she was on I'm a Celebrity. That is the first time I've ever watched I'm a Celebrity to the end as well.
Really?
Specifically for Nella to support her. And we was out there on the internet talking about her every day because she needed that.
Yeah.
And people needed a black perspective on what was going on. I loved her take on it because watching it, I was a bit like, oh my God, is this the best thing for her to do? But actually, her spin on being able to speak to producers and be like, look at what I created.
Yeah.
That is huge because that actually doesn't happen for every black person that goes on I'm a Celebrity. So if she's cool with weathering that backlash and she can turn it into greatness for her life, I love that for her.
Yeah.
And it actually really did change my perspective on black folk that are in reality TV. I was like, you know what? Yes,
I'm glad
true.
it did. Speaking
Yeah, it
of
did.
somebody who works on the other side of that, sometimes I know things or see things from a different perspective to you.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad that she was able to utilize what she got out of it and she can grow. And I just differently, I think she's a wonderful girl. You know, I'm saying girl, she's a grown ass woman now, but I really, you know, I think that she's great. I didn't watch all her video. I think you watched it for the both of us.
Yeah.
But I just think she's really nice. She's got such a lovely personality and she just seems, you know, like she's going to be on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, and I like the fact that she's reclaiming the space on YouTube because D&I, we haven't got into that, DEI and diversity, they're turning a corner. Black folks aren't in vogue anymore and lots of people in D&I are losing their jobs. So where the shift in focus when it comes to content creators might not be on the traditional platforms, YouTube it's not the safest place to be, but it is a space where you can possibly reclaim and have a bit more ownership.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that she's also, because she led the way with the way she did commentary in her uni. Now she's leading the way in like creating content for herself. So I love that. She said she's got more stuff coming on. I also wanted to pick her up because she was so cute in her rise and style. One time we were at a junket together and I was like, my daughter loves you. So she's like, okay, let's call her. And we FaceTimed and I think you were in tears, literally. She was like, oh my God. But she was so cute and humble. So yeah.
She's humble. She's respectful.
Yeah.
She's, you know, appreciative. She's
And she's bought a house.
Yes.
Which she was like, wow.
that's amazing.
Like on
That
her,
actually put me in tears.
Yeah,
when
'cause
she
she's
was
like-
going
That's
through her
lovely.
buying her house journey, and like her mum didn't buy a house.
yeah. Yeah.
I love her.
I get
It's
it.
Very cute.
Look at it.
That's what I mean. She's just
That's
just
the
lovely.
example.
Yeah.
A
This is why I was
26-year-old
saying-
making it. That's what we want.
We don't
she's
want to do
positive. No,
yeah.
we're not.
Yeah.
We're
No,
not.
but I was gonna
that's
We're
the
not.
thing. I agree.
But this is what it is. She's just look at this image. The symbol that she's. I can't speak.
I get you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was
Example. That's
Yeah.
the fucking word I wanted. 40-year-old.
And I love the fact that
it's the example that she's setting.
Yeah, yes. Her and she said that when I interviewed her once, she said that her dad had all like home videos.
Yeah.
And that's what encouraged her to start doing videos herself.
Okay.
Like he put the camera in her hand
It's just
practically.
nice.
So that is just,
Yeah, I think she's
baby girl,
lovely.
we love you. Anyway.
That's a lovely welcome to the family.
Yeah.
I'm glad she was on the dock.
I'm glad that she
Yeah.
was next.
Yeah, she's my yes, right? Yes, juxtaposition.
Got nothing to do with age.
Strategy.
You know.
Can you do the next one?
Yes.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I am going to be welcoming Morgan Price, who is the first HBCU gymnast to win an all-round gymnast title. I think that is amazing.
Amazing.
Like literally, so she is from Frisk University and she made history. It's crazy that she is the first
Yeah.
to actually win it, but you know,
Can I just correct you? It's Fisk, not Frisk.
sorry. Tears in the eyes.
She couldn't say the word.
I get it. It's not Frisk.
But no, it is amazing for her to get that title. And then also, a fellow Brit, let's also welcome to the family Eniola Aluku, who is a former England women's football player, and she has made history by being the first black woman to own a club in Italy. She's required a major stake in FC Como's female team and is part of a 100 million ownership group. So this is great as well for her. And actually, like, Eniola does like quite a few of our posts. So
Oh, wow.
Eniola, come on, let's chat about it.
yes.
I think that's super cool that she's
That's
done
huge.
that.
Welcome,
Yes.
welcome.
And that should be worldwide news.
And that is not, because Googling it, Ain't seen it in a lot of places.
Yeah.
She is from here, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
Just remember that.
Yeah, she's British Nigerian.
Yeah. So the Brit matters, apparently. Okay. Let's go. Auntie Farrah.
Jeez. On some smoke.
Because speaking of Brits.
Oh yeah,
being
I understand.
British,
Segue.
you know what I mean?
Okay, I get it.
You know
So
what I mean?
I would like to welcome to the family Richard Black, and Richard Black was an St. Lucian Brit who came here when he was 6 years old, and when he was 29, he went to visit his then wife's family in Trinidad and Tobago, and due to a passport error, he was unable to return. And he has been in exile. I don't like the word exile, but he's been unable to come back to Britain for the last 40 years. And the Home Office have only now just waived it because of his wife. I think it's got something to do with his wife's passport.
Yeah.
His now wife.
Yeah.
Because not being able to come back over 40 years, his marriage didn't survive. He lost family. He was unable to come and see his mother when she passed away. And he was stateless, so he couldn't go anywhere, couldn't come here, couldn't go anywhere, was stranded in Trinidad and Tobago for the last 40 years. And let's not get it twisted. This doesn't mean that he has a British citizenship. What he has is indefinite leave to stay or remain is what they like to call it.
Yeah.
And what that means is that he can come and go, but if he leaves for more than 6 months, it could happen all over again.
It's actually crazy.
Welcome him back. Welcome him. Welcome
So I'd
back.
like to welcome him back, but bun Britain, because he came here on a British passport.
Yeah, man.
So bun Britain.
The Windrush scandal is one that, like, I don't know when we're going to get to the end of it to really be like, oh my God, they rectified it. Because every year there seems to be another level of fuckery
Yeah.
that comes along where you're just like, nah, this is crazy. But 40 years is
40 years.
sacrilege for his family to be here. And even when his mum was dying,
Yeah.
like,
He
there's
wasn't
still
allowed.
he should just come. Even if you just let him come for like 3 months.
He was 6 years old when he came here. It's not like he came to this country as an adult with a fake passport.
Right.
Yes.
He was 6 years old, right? He worked for however many years until he was 29.
Paid his taxes.
Paid his taxes.
You took
invested.
everything. National
you took
insurance, all of that
You
stuff.
took all of that stuff and they were happy to take it. And what's interesting is that it was 40 years ago, because they like to make out like the Windrush scandal and all of this stuff that's
You
happened
see it?
is only recent. This happened to this man 40 years ago. And
They've known
unfortunately,
about this for such a long
they
time.
have. And I don't think it is going to be rectified, to answer your question, until unfortunately everyone who came in that way has passed on. I really don't think it's going to be rectified.
We
My
can't-
uncle's been there 50 plus years and he don't have a passport. He's got indefinite leave to remain.
It's
Imagine
disgusting,
that.
you know. It really is. And I'm really, really disappointed with so many of the Labour MPs for not actually really standing on business. Because you know how David Lammy kind of tried to be like he was all about it. But, you know, he's
just
been a
like
shirker
everything.
as well.
Yeah.
And so have a lot of the women as well. Again, they stand like they're standing on business, but we've seen how they've been with Diane Abbott. Nobody demanded that her whip was restored. Nobody's demanded that actually the government really goes in and compensates people in a timely manner. Like, it's actually not okay. Black MPs have been hugely disappointing.
But anyway, welcome to the family.
Welcome back and to this land.
You could actually be my family still.
Honestly, look into it. Okay, guys. So now let's get into Aunties Know Best, where we solve dilemmas and issues. Because you know why? Aunties know best.
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
You.
Okay, then. Right, this is one from the social media streets, and it's a good one. Is the barber the arsehole for making a mother pay for his clippers that her son broke? So shout out to Slider Cuts for this one. This was a good one. He put it up on his page and I thought it was hilarious. So a 2-year-old is cutting up in the barber chair, crying, moving about and wilding out. As he's doing this, he knocks the barber's clippers to the floor. After the cut, the barber approaches the child's mum and says the clippers are broken now. The mum is apologetic and asks how much do the clippers cost? The barber says £200. The mum is stunned and says sorry and that she can't afford that. The barber says, no, don't worry. Let's set up a payment plan. How much can you afford to pay me every month? His barbers are saying, so the barbers in the shop are saying, nah, bruv, you should have allowed it, just taken the loss, and that he was wrong for making mum have to pay the money when he knew she couldn't afford it. So This is a real life, is he an arsehole?
Oh.
Should he have swallowed the cost? Or is he right to make her pay?
You know what? It's a hard one. I get it. £200 is a lot. And maybe the barber also is struggling. It's like, I needed my clippers. But you can't enter someone into a payment plan.
That's
No.
He's the arsehole.
He is, isn't he?
The mum can't afford it. To make her do a payment plan, she's probably struggling to get her son's haircut.
I know.
Haircuts aren't cheap nowadays. So she's probably struggling to do that. And you might say that's not his business. But you know what is his business? Being a barber. And if you're a barber, you should have extras, shouldn't you? Has he got one set of clippers? Are you trying to tell me he's got one set of clippers? He don't have no spares in case the battery dies or the head goes dull or da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. He must have spares. It's not... you take a hit on it. In certain things, you take a hit on it. And on this case, he's going to have to take a hit on it. And if he doesn't like it, he can claim insurance.
Listen, I think, kids are off because I used to work in hairdressers, there's bad kids. Now, the kids running around, not sitting down, not minding their ass and behaving themselves, that's a whole different thing. Pay for whatever you touch and break. You're going to pay for it. Your mum's going to pay for it because you're not controlling your kid. You're in trouble out here. Now, this is a kid... We know that kids don't like the chair, and especially that buzzing thing coming to their head. They're 2 years old. He's 2. It's not like he's grown. It might be even his early days of getting his hair cut. That buzzing sound, he was scared, he was fidgeting, he was crying. How about you stop? No, okay, he was knocked off the side. Maybe take a minute. I know barbershops get busy, but whatever the case is, this child wasn't cutting up in the way that it seems like a naughty child. He was a scared child. And if you agree that you're going to do kids' hair, because you don't have to also. You can also just deal with adults.
Yeah.
You can have an age limit on who you cut. So if you can't handle a kid that's messing about, then unfortunately, this is your fault. Sorry. And I think you should have backup. And I think even...
Maybe.
I think calling her out and as well, saying it to the floor as well was a bit much.
Yeah, that's not right.
Yeah.
That's not nice, should I say. Maybe what he should do is say to her, at the point when she said she couldn't afford that, maybe compromise. What he could have said to her is, okay, what can you afford?
Exactly.
You know, because he might be struggling. He might be.
Yeah.
He might not necessarily have a set of spares. He should have a set of spares.
He
But
should.
if he doesn't have a set of spares, what he could say to her is, how much can you afford?
Yeah.
And if she says, I've got 50 quid, take the 50 quid.
And then you add that on. Definitely.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, actually, I'd totally forgotten how bad Okaija, second born, used to be. He's okay with getting his hair cut now, but when he was little, it was very, very bad. Like, he would cry. You'd have to hold him, really cage him in so that the head could be done. It is up to the barber to then be like, I'm not doing this kid's hair.
Right?
Actually, because there was one time we had grown his hair so long, he had proper high top, and then he went like that, kicked his head about, started sneezing, and then he cut into the hair, properly, went into the hair. So then he had to cut all of his hair off. Kids are a bit like that,
they're
they're a bit
wild.
wily when they don't like the clippers. Yeah, it's for the barber. Actually, that's a good compromise, but he should have just taken it on the chin.
And also, the barbers that his fellow barbers are like, oh, you're bad. How about doing a little collection plate?
Yeah.
This is like
Give him a bit of money.
head barber who owns a barber shop. Don't you have some sort of insurance for your barbers? What's the community of barberdom in that place?
It does feel like there should be
There should be
insurance,
a kissy
There
in
should
some
be.
way
Yeah,
of
for your
something.
equipment.
You're a mechanic,
Accidental
yeah. You
losses
don't have
and
one
damages.
spanner.
Do you know what I mean? There's
Well, if
something.
you do, it ain't good. You're not going to be in business for very long.
That's what I'm
are you?
saying. And I think, look, you know what? When we have so many social media posts of barbers doing the most for kids that, they'll set up, they'll do reading books, they're doing story time, they're playing music.
Get those
to make them
special
feel
chairs.
for being come on now. It's, in this day and age, no excuse.
No, he's an arsehole.
He's an arsehole.
Yeah.
You're an arsehole, my love. Sorry. All right, Auntie Nana.
Okay, all right. So, my wife found my dick pics.
Okay.
My wife went through my phone and found conversations with other women. Dating back through a good portion of our relationship. We've been together 6 years. I've never met up with any of these women, but there was plenty of sexual talk and some pictures exchanged, but obviously that doesn't matter because the trust is gone. She's spending the last few nights at a friend's place and I haven't talked to her since. I don't even know what I would say if I had the chance. I believe I have a sex addiction, but I doubt that will matter in this situation. And it's a piss poor excuse for what is an amazing woman. I love her so much, and I'm just lost now trying to think of what to do. Is there any advice you can give me to help smooth things over?
You see these men?
Yes. Yes.
You see these men, yeah, who when you little fuckers get caught, that's when you're like, oh, but I love my woman, oh, I'm dying, I can't live without her.
Yeah.
The idea of being without her makes me feel like I'm at sea and I need a lifeboat. Fuck you lot, yeah? Because what you didn't realise is that your woman was better than you. Your woman was holding you up and you know, you should have valued her at the time. You can't be sending dick pics and having sexting relationships with women and expect your woman to like be like okay with it. What if the roles were reversed? What if you saw pics of her vagina and dicks from a man?
Imagine.
How would you feel? Men don't even like the idea if their woman had sex with someone before then.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. You are an arsehole. I don't even know if that was a question.
It was. What advice will you give me? Advice, my darling.
My advice is this: you better lick her ass for the rest of the time, and that's what he'll do. That's what will be annoying, you know. You know what he'll do? He'll repent and he'll work on her and he'll wear her down until eventually she'll take him back and be like, oh, well, you know, at least he didn't sleep with her. And even if in the back of her mind she thinks that he did sleep with somebody, yeah, she'll just let it go because she loves him and he knows that. And then what he'll do is he'll act like she's the queen and post her picture on his profile page and be good until it happens again, because it will happen again because he is an arsehole.
I mean, that's a word and a half. Yeah, I don't think I can come back from that. It's the wearing down. It's I might have a sex addiction, but I know that's not good enough. It's the fact that he's tried to get all the answers. He's tried to be like, and I know, and I know,
I'm
and
so
I know,
self-aware.
and I know, and I know.
I'm so transparent. I'm being transparent.
Oh, that's the word. Transparent. Bun that word to
Bun it.
the depth.
Because you're not transparent,
You're not transparent at all.
What's the opposite? Opaque.
Yeah. Freaking... Anyway, unclear. Yeah, I mean, advice is be real. If you really want her back, it just goes with the actions. You've got to get on your knees and beg for forgiveness, but it's just not the performative stuff. Don't do the posting and the flowers and
he will.
And the money. I know. I'm just saying, like, for advice purposes, don't fake the funk. Be for real, because let's get into why the hell were you sending dick pics in the first place?
This is where I was going.
Yeah.
Why was that your outlet? And you need to work back from that. You absolutely need to be like, okay, I'm in therapy now. You don't have a sex addiction.
No, you don't.
You have an attention
deficit
addiction.
Yes.
That's your problem. So now let's work on that. What was you after in the attention, and how can you work through that? And maybe with a therapist, you'll have the language to be able to explain to her why you were seeking that type of validation from women throughout your relationship, although you love this woman. And then give her the space to really come to the conclusion if you are the man that she wants to build a life with. Because I would tell her, sack him off and find better. Because there are lots of good men out there that people are overlooking who are looking for women and they will treat them right. They are out there.
Can I interject? I love the married woman's optimism. It's hard out there. For a pimp or not a pimp. It's hard. However, it doesn't mean, and the reason why it's hard out there is because women allow themselves to be worn down. And I don't say allow in blame, I just say allow as in the word allow. We get worn down. The spectre of being single is so real. It's still real in 24. That's the reason why it's hard out there, because there's so many men that just do the baseline, bottom of the sea behavior, and we allow it. So it's not easy. There aren't lots of men out there.
They're out there though.
No, okay.
All right, married lady.
All right. Well, this is a whole other conversation.
Anyway, the point is, and I think you were right before you got to that.
Yeah, let's leave it there.
And for the, like, literally, like, be very honest with this.
Honest.
Don't try and run game.
No.
Be honest and sort yourself out. And you've got problems, you know.
Yeah. And you stay at your friends, lady girl, stay at your friends until further notice, and deal with your own self, what you really want to do. How about call Tyrone?
How about your sending
hate
dick
these
pics?
type of men.
Yeah, man.
Can't stand them.
Work it out. All right. Okay, so it's your turn, young lady.
Absolutely outrageous behaviour, infuriating my soul.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Would I be the arsehole if I told my friend the reason she's not booking any acting roles is because of her weight?
Joyce.
Okay. I made a really good friend in the acting class a few years back. We shared a healthy competitiveness, but always in good spirits. I think she's exceptionally talented as an artist, and we've always supported each other for auditions or reads, etc., etc. However, this past year, she stopped going to the gym and has gained a substantial amount of weight.
Well.
She took new headshots after her weight gain and keeps complaining that she's getting less audition calls. Cool, that's her issue. But she also keeps saying that the reason she isn't getting any roles is because she's white, and mentions our friends who happen to be black and mixed race who are booking things left and right. These friends, FYI, spend hours at the gym every day and work insanely hard on their craft. I'm not here to argue if white people are disadvantaged in Hollywood.
They're not.
Okay. I have plenty of white colleagues who are getting plenty of roles. I'm not thrilled that I have to exercise like crazy every audition season, but Hollywood is the way that it is. I care about my friend and I want her to succeed, but I also don't want to hurt her feelings or damage our friendship. Would I be the arsehole if I told her the truth? Tactfully.
I think it's imperative to tell her the truth. Like, it's not okay that this woman is going around with her racism and she's your friend.
I think that's the key.
That's the key.
Like, literally, like one of those talking like, now it's diversity and all the black people are getting all the jobs. She's one of those. She also is an arsehole. So maybe you need to think about if you even want her as a friend.
Right.
By the by, you need to tell her the truth. She's put on weight. She's fat now. This is why you're not booking jobs. Let's just be factual about it. And then also, in being factual, you are advocating for the other black and mixed race people who she is now being like, they're getting all the jobs. Don't let her walk around with that, because as it stands, there's still more roles out there for white folks. Like, let's just be honest.
And that's it.
I mean, she's literally saying these people are coming around here
Taking
all our jobs.
And let's look at the fact, like, were the pictures good? Because you took new pictures, and obviously they're fluffy girls book roles as well. There are lots of fluffy women out there, that white women that are doing very well being big. Are you actually a good actress? Let's start there. Were your headshots good headshots? Did the photographer capture you properly? Have you looked at yourself? Have a conversation with her, a real honest conversation with her about all the things, and leave black people out of it. And to be fair, yes, there are productions, because there is a quota that they have to fill before all these rules probably go out the window. There is a quota that they have to fill. There is representation because of the lack of representation. So there are productions that have to fill certain diversity quotas. But that does not mean to say that the roles are being taken away from you. And as has been said, they go to the gym and they work hard on their craft. What are you doing? And what are you doing? So that's it.
It's clear privilege though, isn't it? Like,
it is.
all the way around.
It can't be me.
I should just be booking jobs.
It's not because my talent, or rather, it's they're getting jobs because they're not as talented as I am.
Yeah,
because
it's that
they're
part.
black.
Yes.
And I think as her friend, quote unquote, you need to have an honest conversation with her and just let her know that, one, maybe you should go back to the gym. Two, maybe your pictures aren't as good. And three, and most importantly, I'm actually offended that you really think that it's because you're white and they're of colour.
Because what of me, my friend?
Yeah.
What does that say? If you don't get it, then maybe me and you shouldn't be friends.
Yeah, those are the things that I think, sometimes you've got to sack people off.
To be honest.
Some people are for seasons.
And that's a reason. Am I the arsehole for wanting to fly business class while my boyfriend flies economy for 30 hours?
This is, I think, yes, but okay.
Let's go.
I need to know more.
My boyfriend and I are planning a month-long trip to Australia at the end of the year, combining it with a 3-day work conference that I have. I earn significantly more, so I'm covering about half of his expenses, even though he was initially hesitant about accepting financial help. My work is paying for my business class flight, which is a 30-hour journey. My boyfriend will be flying economy due to the cost. The cost difference is €2,000, which is not feasible for him, especially since he values contributing equally to our expenses. I offered to give him 1,500, half the price of my business tickets cost, but upgrading would still leave him 500 short for the trip, which he can't afford. So now he's upset and reconsidering going at all. I thought I was being considerate, but he sees it as me prioritising my comfort over our shared experience. I understand his point about valuing our time together, but the flight's length and the difference in comfort are significant factors for me. So am I the arsehole for wanting to fly business class while expecting my boyfriend to fly economy?
No, because
Okay, go on.
no, her work is paying for her to fly business class.
Yeah.
It's not like she can exchange it and split it because that would be against work company policy. You can't trade in your flight to help your boyfriend out. That's against policy. She's given him £1,500 or euros or whatever the case may be, yeah? So he can fly economy plus. He doesn't need to be in the back seat by the toilet. He can fly economy plus. If he doesn't have the extra £500, he can fly economy plus. Like, she's still paying the majority of your flight. Like, no.
I'm feeling like, okay, so she's not paying for her ticket.
No.
She makes more money than him.
Yeah.
I feel like she should pay the full 2,000 and upgrade him.
He doesn't want her to spend money. He doesn't like it.
No, but he's
Wasn't
there.
that one of the things that he said?
he's
Like,
there.
he feels emasculated. Okay, those weren't the words.
But that's
but
what he's
basically,
saying.
that's what he's saying.
Honestly, he wants her to pay for it because he's vexed about
But
it.
does he though? Because he's saying that you're emasculating me. Basically, if you do it, he's vexed because he can't, so he feels shame. So if she buys it, he's going to act even more like an arsehole
What?
and possibly act salty all 30 hours
know
away
what
in
I think?
Australia.
So he wants her
He doesn't
to
want her to-
downgrade. Is that what he's asking?
It's like he's
He's like,
saying,
we should all be in economy
Yeah.
together.
yeah, he's like,
Be next to the toilets with me.
yeah, or
Do you
don't go.
think? I think he's like, you should pay. Like,
No.
you doing- no,
Because
I don't
he's
get
got an
that.
issue with the fact that she's even
She
offering.
says.
Say it again.
say?
She says. I thought, no, wait. So I earn significantly more, so I'm covering about half of his expenses, even though he was initially hesitant about accepting financial help.
But he took it though.
Listen.
Yeah.
Listen. Listen. wait. I thought I was being considerate. He sees it as me prioritizing my comfort over our shared experience. Okay, maybe.
I
saying?
feel like
It's
it is a
everything.
business flight.
It's everything.
But mainly, this is what I really feel. Do you want to know?
I want to know.
He don't want to go.
He wants to go.
He
No, he
don't want
wants
to
to
go.
go, though. He wants
He
to go on
don't
the
want to
adventure.
go. He's causing conflict and confrontation because he don't really want to go.
What is it? Because he's leaving his side
He
chick?
don't really want to go. Like, she wants to go to Australia. Yeah, she wants to do all of these things. Her business is doing it. He's saying he ain't got no money. She gives him half the money. He's complaining he don't want to take half the money. He takes half the money. He's finding something else to complain about. Why are you flying business
saying.
class when he don't want to go? He don't want to go.
She should call his bluff and be like,
And say,
"I'm gonna
cool,
pay
innit,
for
bruv?"
It's 500, and if she knows
That
he
500
can't
difference, yeah.
Actually, this is my thing. I'm like, she knows he can't actually spare the 500, and her flight is free for her, and you make considerably more, is what
Yeah.
he said. She should pay it. I think if the roles were reversed and we were hearing this, and this was a guy talking about it, and it was a girl, it would be like, pay for her.
But the girl...
I understand that the man, but he took half of the money in it. He
Yeah,
already
yeah, yeah.
accepted her helping. I think that's what he's
Begrudgingly.
salty about.
Yeah.
I think.
He wants to go business class.
Yeah, pay
That's
for
what he
him
wants
to go.
So he wants to be comfortable with her. He doesn't want to say, my girl's up, like, you know when you can't see through the curtain?
That is horrible, though.
That's not nice.
I also was very
understand-
class to business
listen,
class, and
I
I
absolutely
wanted to sit
understand that, and I would
think
be
it's-
pissed if it was me. I'm not even suggesting that I wouldn't, but I think it's two things. I think it's two things. He either don't want to go, and he's looking for a way out.
Because his side chick's crying.
He might not even have a side
Just
chick. He
saying.
might just not like her
Throwing
anymore.
extra pepper in the sauce.
there. No, he needs her. She's
But you can't take money and complain about it.
No, she needs to pay for the whole ticket. I actually think that is the right thing to do.
Do you know what, Pave?
If
you
she's
can
got
afford
it-
it, because what's 500 to 1,500 really? Do you know
If
what I mean?
she's got it, but if he's complaining already because he feels like a kept man, then why would you do that?
But you know, all right, so when you're a bit poor, yeah, and you know your partner knows you're a bit skint, and they do things like, oh, I'm going to give you 100 when really you need 200.
That's manipulation,
pisses
as
you
an
off.
annoying, yeah.
Like, you know I need the 200, just give me the 200 now.
We don't know why he's not succeeding in life as much as she is. Maybe she's like, Find it. Maybe she knows that. Maybe he's a bit lazy.
Maybe he's a bum.
Maybe he's a bit bummy.
Yeah.
That's
maybe
her man.
he's,
But that's
maybe,
her fault. She chose him. It's true.
It's true.
There's no way out of
It's
it.
true.
Chick,
It's
you're
true,
an arsehole.
true.
Buy the ticket. Done.
Buy the ticket.
All right.
Yes.
But he don't want to go.
All right. My mum thinks my friend's a witch.
I was going to do this one.
Were you?
shit.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I thought did I jump?
Let
I just
Nana-
did it. Sorry, I was
let
on a
Nana
roll.
read it.
Go on. Sorry, my love.
So my mum thinks my friend's a witch. Dear Dear Auntie. You're so tough. Okay. My mum thinks my friend's a witch. Dear Auntie, my mum says she sees a blackness in one of my friend's hearts and I should stay away. My mum is 85 and not in good health. You know, let me go back home. Okay, all right, so.
Okay.
Okay.
My mum thinks my friend's a witch. Dear Aunties, my mum said she sees a blackness in my friend's heart and I should stay away. My mum is 85 and not in good health. I've been friends with this girl for over 30 years, but recently my mum has constantly said she has no good intentions towards me. Nothing has changed outwardly in our relationship. My mum has now said she doesn't want her in the house. Should I tell my friend why she's not welcome in my mum's house anymore, or should I just cut her off? Should I listen to my mum? I'm really confused. What should she do?
I think, go on.
No, you go.
I think she should hold her friend at arm's length. Because
No longer.
sometimes people be seeing things that you don't necessarily be seeing. And maybe she should hold her at arm's length so she can ascertain whether or not her heart is pure or black. That is
I don't like the word black.
That's
being
what the
used
mum
in this
said.
way. I know.
Why do mums do that?
That's what the mum
this is my-
I'm repeating what the
I
mum
know.
said.
And this is the thing. It's like black heart. I'm a take up. I would like, yes, because parents, and especially our mums, are given the all-seeing eye grace of like, yep, they've got foresight and hindsight and pre-sight and left sight and right sight. However, I just don't know what the projection is either. This has been your brethren for 35 years. Is only now mum is vexed with her? What's happening? It doesn't say that over the years my mum's constantly said she don't like her. It's recently, as in her ailing health, and unless she got some extra sight in her ailing health that gave her extra vision and extra stumping, I don't know about blanket trusting your mum's perspective, but in culture and tradition, we tend to respect our elders, we tend to listen to our elders, and we tend to give grace to what the elders say. I have had friends, my mum has said, don't bring that girl in this house. They're still my brethren today.
Hi. Not really.
You're actually not
Your
one of
mum
them.
loves me.
My mum loves you. But so that I just don't know. I do think, as Auntie Farrah said, take time and assess some things, because maybe there are some things that you're overlooking. But if you've had no beef with this girl, that's the bit where I'm just like, so what do you know? Because my mum will judge you if your earrings are too big. My mum will judge you if your skirt is here. And your hair, don't bring that girl around. So then it's like, mum, you know what I mean? So what you know with the relationship you have with your brethren is different to how your mum will perceive certain things. So especially if you've got I'm really speaking from my mum, old school, different kind of perspective on things. I just say take it with a pinch of salt, but don't dismiss the salt. Do you understand?
But
you
arm's
wouldn't
length.
let the mum.
I wouldn't let her
I would do what you're saying. I would do the arm's length thing because they're getting closer to the end.
and seeing things.
And so they're closer to that side of
Yep.
life.
Yeah.
I would take it very, very serious.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna tell the girl, like my friend, everything that my mum has said. But there would be a marked difference. Like, but you're not coming around again.
Definitely not.
And I'm
You
not
can't
going to
come to
tell you
mums.
that she said you can't come around. I'm not going to do all of that. But there would just be a distance that would take place.
Yeah.
I would take it on if she's able to see, and it does depend on the parent.
Exactly.
So I think
if you have a parent that was a bit of a seer and then they're seeing more, I'm going to listen.
I think that's another point. Yeah, like it is about the parent. Like, because you really have to understand what the projections are. I think this is a very easy tell to your friend she's getting sick, can't have people around.
Yes.
That's easy. You've got
that's
the
exactly
easiest
what I would
excuse, I
say.
think. You've got the
Yeah.
easiest reason to stop your friend from coming round.
Yeah.
That's easy. And then just as be
Yeah,
on
she
your
doesn't want
guard.
to see people because there are lots of people when they get sick. They don't want to see people.
Yeah.
She doesn't want everybody around. So all of that. And then there would be a cool off, as I call it. Like there would be a distancing that took place. And I would take heed.
I would.
Definitely.
But
Because she's old and sick.
But also just look at your friendship in real time. Like really look at your friendship.
But that's why I'm saying arm's length to ascertain Wagwan.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you're too close to the thing, you can't actually see things.
But if-
There's been a lot of people we've been friends with for a very long time. And then what has happened? We have realised that that person was not really good for us. And they didn't have our best intentions.
Yeah,
but
it
because you're
happens.
very close to the eye of the storm, you can't see it. When you remove yourself from so close, you see things.
All right.
And that's it.
That's it. Is it your turn?
It's my turn.
Go ahead.
Okay. Am I the arsehole for not wanting my ex to take our kids out of the country to Nigeria? Okay.
This is a big one.
Let me... Oh, it's a bloody long one is what it is. Let me preface this by saying that my ex and I have a very cantankerous relationship for many reasons, but communication is the biggest. At the moment, he won't answer my calls and only corresponds via email or text message. We have an 11-year-old girl, a 7-year-old man, a 7-year-old man,
My fault.
a 7-year-old boy. I have the kids 5 days a week. My ex recently said that he's going to Nigeria in the summer and wanted to take the kids with him. I was hesitant because the kids have never been on a plane before. That's dread for them. Then he said he's buying them a one-way ticket. And after a week or two, he'd give them the choice of staying or coming home. I said, absolutely not.
Mate.
My ex left Nigeria 13 years ago and has only been back... Has only been back once. How did she get pregnant? Anyway.
The maths.
Anyway, my kids know nothing of Nigeria and they don't speak Yoruba and barely know his family back home. He says it's because his mum was here for a few years and she went back to Nigeria and the kids know they'll be... And the kids know her and they'll be fine. I disagree and feel that it's a lot for them. I know the kids would be absolutely miserable. My ex and I are successful and my kids live a very privileged life. He's not even considering that living in a village will be a huge shock for them. I don't trust him at this moment. This doesn't feel right. I don't want them to go at all. He said I'm being ignorant and if I wanted to take the children to Barbados, he wouldn't stop me. Am I the arsehole?
This is complicated.
Hella complicated.
Okay, I'm just going to point the elephant in the room. The one-way ticket is alarming. And
That's not an elephant. That's a fact.
he could be sending those kids and you're not going to see them again. That can happen. Has happened to many a woman, especially when you're from two different cultures. So I think her alarm and the red flags going off are very real, and I would probably be feeling the same way. We're all going.
Yeah.
That's a solution.
We're all going is probably the only solution to this, whether he's talking to me or not. But I think I categorically would not allow my children to go anywhere with a one-way ticket to a place I have not been and they have not been.
And we're not in good terms. No, man.
Yeah.
No.
And I don't know if mum is the same mum that's foreboding. She's a witch. So maybe mum's like, maybe you're a bad mum. Who knows? We don't know the situation. So maybe he's like, I need my kids. But this problem with communication is why you're at this point where he thinks a one-way ticket is a feasible thing to say. How can anyone come and say, you know what, we're taking the kids, one-way ticket? It doesn't even make sense if you're communicating perfectly. This is ridiculous, a ridiculous notion. So I don't know if there's any more to the story that we don't know about you guys' interaction. Why does he want to take the kids one way to Nigeria? Everyone knows that no mother would say yes to that. No mother would say yes to that. So I don't want to question, but I might have to question what's going on with you as a parent, as a mother, that he feels he needs to take his kids away from you, because that's what he's doing. The other thing is men in control. If he feels like he's not getting access, his like undercut is to take the kids and I'm going to do this and take them to my mum because my mum's better than you. All of that stuff. But whatever the case is, as has been said, and I know you're going to say the same thing, kids ain't going nowhere. Not on my watch. I might just do the thing of get my ticket and come to, but I'm bringing 2 brethren with me because I don't want to also turn up missing.
So, firstly, if he thinks that she's such a bad, let's think about the bad mother scenario. She can't be that bad because he leaves the kids with her 5 days a week.
Yeah.
She has them 5 days a week, right? 5 days a week. If you're a bad mother...
It could be that, the courts, situations. Go ahead.
If that was the case, he wouldn't be able to take them nowhere. Yeah? Facts. So if he's comfortable with her having them 5 days a week, she can't be that much of a bad parent. My kid ain't going nowhere with a one-way ticket. Nowhere. Unless I'm with her and we're both going one way. That's never, ever going to happen. That is a massive red flag. You're not on arsehole for thinking about that because what is he doing? If you're taking the kids for 6 weeks, why wouldn't you just book the return ticket?
That's
because you can change your date on a return ticket. Yeah. It's not fixed in that way. And
but
even if you have
saying, innit? He was like, to do it and change the date was going to be more expensive.
No, everyone that's ever booked a ticket knows that a one-way ticket is actually more expensive.
Yeah.
It's very strange. It's always more expensive. That's why people sometimes book a return ticket and don't return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens. So,
and what's this testing to see if you like it for 2 weeks?
The thing where she's an arsehole, where she's an arsehole, is where she said that my kids live a very privileged life and they wouldn't be okay in the village.
The village.
That's where she's the arsehole.
Yeah.
Because what are you trying to listen? I am from London, right? When I go to Grenada, I am from the smallest parish in Grenada, grew up in the country, like standing on fences, on the galvanised with a big bamboo stick, picking plums and mangoes and all those things. That's the greatest experience I have had as a child, to be taken out of my comfort zone and to find something else. They shouldn't want to go, or even if they want that, they should be given the opportunity to experience something different. And you should want that for your children. So for that part, you're the arsehole. The other bits, I don't really think you're the arsehole. Massive red flags. Maybe like Nana said, go with them. In fact, even if he gets a return ticket, you should still go with them.
And he shouldn't be in control of booking the ticket. Buy the ticket.
And he shouldn't be in control of their passports.
At all.
It's a very dodgy situation. And you guys don't have any trust now. So realistically... the thing is, I don't like the idea of 2 parents and one parent being like, you can't take the kids. I don't like that.
Yeah.
But this is suspicious. So I think, if this is the first time they're flying, we all need to go.
Yeah.
I can stay in a hotel, whatever. The kids will see their grandmother and we leave after 2 weeks. I feel like that's probably the compromise. I just don't like the idea of you can't take your kids. But he hasn't made this easy either, because this is suspicious.
He's going to hate that as well, because men, that's one thing. They don't like the control. And they feel like they're being controlled. If like, you can't take my kids, so I'm going to come to. And if he can't stand you, they get so offended.
Yeah,
but it is what it is. There's no trust.
Yeah.
He needs to be understanding, or it's not happening.
That's the part. He has to understand that it's got to the point where you don't even communicate. So you have to kind of compromise.
How she like?
And the compromise is for her to go, but to leave them at their own.
Yeah, I mean,
will she be able to speak to them by email? Mum, we're okay. Send. Come on.
It's like I go as well. I can see where they are. That would be my peace of mind.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be like, you can't take them. And then we got to go to court over the, it can get very, very messy. So I feel like that would probably be my solution.
And sometimes
we're all going to Nigeria.
Absolutely. I'll go sit by the pool.
To the village, mind you.
And then I can see where my kids are. But that was ignorant, the whole village thing. Because
so ignorant.
They could have a huge house in the village.
There's not villages in Barbados.
Yeah.
All right. The final one. My very pro-black fiance versus my liberal family. Help! My fiance is one of those people who values black marriages, black business, you name it, he supports it, as long as it's black. Hey, friend.
Black on black.
My family, on the other hand, especially one of my brothers, does not care for all that, and he is dating a white woman. I'm pro-black as well and believe we should marry within our race, but I don't condemn those who choose otherwise, as long as you're not bashing your own people. Fair. We were in the middle of planning our engagement party, but things went left because my brother announced he'd be bringing his white girlfriend. My fiance now wants to cancel the entire party and go away instead.
Oh.
I'm now left to figure out what to say to everyone, including my brother and my mum who is really excited, obviously. I can't say yeah, so you and your white woman can't come. I personally don't give a damn about who my brother dates. The other thing is my fiance did want it to be just us and family. That's what he did say, to be fair. Plus, it is during Juneteenth weekend, which is big American, black American thing. I feel bad and not sure what to do. How should I handle this? Any ideas?
This is horrible, you know. I think her fiance's an arsehole.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He is.
foolish.
You gotta regulate that.
Yeah.
Really. Like,
It's a flag.
It is a flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very controlling. It's imposing. And can he have some respect for your family? That may not be his choice. Well, he's picked you for one, so why should he care? But the fact that he wants to start inflicting things like where your family can't come places.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, this is that's dodgy. It feels like the beginning of, and then next thing is one of your brethren, he doesn't like them.
Yes.
You can't talk to
Yes.
her. Then it turns into all of your friends that he doesn't like any of their partners and you can't speak to.
That
It's
single
just-
one.
Then it turns into he doesn't like the way that you dress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, he wants you in a sack and flipping like linen clothes and
I mean, if he's so pro-black, I wonder how he lives in America. Because if he's so pro-black that he doesn't want to interact with somebody who is white, how do you live?
yeah.
I mean, America does have that quite easily. They do say the segregation is real. It's not like how we see it. And even just being in LA the other day, I had that conversation. Segregation is very real. So he can live in that bubble. And again,
Who's
not
your president?
interact with-
Who's your president?
No,
who makes your laws?
No, that's-
it's
yeah,
not
but that- yeah,
real.
yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to get to. It's not
but-
real. So the things that he's trying to impose, this is a very slow step to what seems like Nana said.
Yeah, that one I agree.
More
yeah.
control. And I don't like it. I don't like the fact that he's dictating what her family can do. If you believe that you want to be pro-black and marry black people, 100% amazing. That's great for you, yeah? But you can't dictate what her brother has already done. So what? Her brother's never allowed to anything?
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
when
it
they
doesn't
have
make any
children,
sense. Yeah.
the brother's never allowed to come there.
and then
the
you
cousins
may not be able to
then
be
you're-
going to christenings.
Right. Like, no, come
Yeah,
on.
nah, it's
you
not.
you can practice whatever you want to practice, but you should not stop her from being able to have her family around.
And this is very interesting role reversal. Since when did the man have control over the freaking parties and stuff? The wedding, the whatever this is? No. It's usually the woman that runs things, and it's usually her decision. I know we're, in a more liberal stage.
She's probably planning it.
But that's
he's
what I'm saying, but
like,
like-
he's
Yeah,
looking at the invite list.
But it's like, when do you guys just turn up with your suit? What do you mean? Let's go back to the dark ages, please. Shush! It's none of your business. It's her brother. It's her whole brother.
Right.
You can't do that. That's family's off limits. You don't. I mean, your brother must know. Your brother-in-law to be must know that who you are, what you're like. He's willing. He's like, he doesn't care. You shouldn't care. On a day-to-day basis, you're not going to see them. And unfortunately,
Yeah, it's just a celebration. I think as the
it's
girl,
controlling.
it's
Get out.
This isn't a we're changing our plans.
Yeah.
Situation. I have to put my foot down.
What we're
Yeah.
changing, if this is your stance, what we're changing is the engagement, because I'm not going to not see my brother.
Yeah,
That's not happening.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, like, I've got brothers who have white partners, right? And I cannot imagine someone saying this to me
Imagine.
and I'm not seeing them or their kids. That's wild.
And he's not even
Imagine, like,
Yeah.
really
and he's not
thinking I'm
crazy.
going to change plans because this partner was like, yeah, no,
this is
not
the
about that.
engagement. So then what about the wedding?
Yeah.
And the christenings, or if there's any christenings,
It
the
can't-
blessings,
it
or the
can't happen.
namings,
It
or
can't
whatever they
run.
may be, Christmas, all these things are going to take place. This is a very slow.
Unless she's a
path to-
problematic who causes problems, that's a different
That's
conversation.
different.
And you can say the other scenario is this brother is a gallist, waste man, community dick type person. Every other day is another chick. That's the only time we can have a conversation. Why is she coming? Because we don't even know her name.
She's the latest one.
She's
of
the latest one of a
moment.
roster, and she look at her.
Yeah,
it could
those
there's
things are fine.
That's different, and she did come back at the end to say he did want it to be just family and close friends, I guess. But that's a small margin, and you didn't say any of the others. You didn't say that your brother's like that. So it's back to whatever the aunties said.
Yeah.
He's trying to control you, girl. Get out. Find another one. As Auntie Nana says, in her utopia, there's lots more.
And for people that are in our comments all the time that want to say that you're all single, Auntie Nana is married. She's been married a whole extra
Billion
decades,
years, a billion.
years. she's been with her man before the millennium.
Basically,
Do you know what I
for
mean?
real,
Like,
for
just to let you know.
It's very annoying. It is annoying. Each time I read it, I am like, okay, guys.
I know. It's like I want to say she's married.
And also, we're not single because we're horrible. Just want to say that. Okay, so that was Aunties Know Best. We solved some wicked dilemmas. So,
I don't know what's happening. Help.
but now, before we end the show, yes, do that. Before we end the show, does anyone have anything that they want to spotlight?
Oh, yes, I do. And this was actually in my bag. I forgot to put it on the table.
That's what's happening.
So mine's in my bag. I would like to spotlight us. Because we are winners.
We are winner, chicken dinner.
Basically.
Win.
Win.
All we do is win. Win.
Basically, the two we have.
We won.
We've won.
The two game shows.
We've won.
We win.
We have won.
We're winners.
So we went to room 187 on Saturday.
Yep,
We
yep.
competed against some youngsters.
Youngers.
Who thought that they would know more than us when it came to R&B and 90s R&B. And they didn't. It was a close one. It was a very, very
tried
close
it.
one. They
They
tried
tried
it.
it.
And there was points where they had us on the ropes. Like,
Proper.
the point where they had us
They
on the
actually
ropes for
pulled out
me
the bag.
is when they had to find a British R&B group. And they chose Floetry, and we had Big Brothers.
And it wasn't a bad choice. Well, choice was good, but they just went Floetry.
it was a-
Floetry's Floetry.
It wasn't
It wasn't a
our
good
finest
choice.
hour.
No, that was-
I think we should have gone with Damage for real.
We should have gone with Damage.
I love to love you.
Yeah, there was quite a few moments I did want to pull a tantrum. I was on.
Nana was
on the
about to
cusp.
fight.
Yeah. But we did well. We pulled it out.
But we pulled it out of the bag and we showed why we are the aunties that win.
Win,
know
win,
best.
win.
As
We
I
had
said.
the crowd candying,
Yep. The whole
and then
crowd.
we had them singing
Oasis,
like they were Oasis fans.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wonderwall. We had them
Wonderwall.
singing. So
Yeah,
that's why I
definitely.
want to spotlight us and our another win for the aunties.
We won.
We won.
That's
Thank
it.
you,
It
was
Room 187. It was great. Have
That
us
was
back.
so fun.
It was a
So
great
much
time. Thank you, 187, for having us and putting up with our rowdiness, because we are rowdy too.
We're very rowdy.
Who you spotlighting, young
I
lady?
am going to spotlight 90s baby show.
Yay!
Big up our brothers.
Oh.
I think they are our brothers. Kinda. All nephews.
They're our
I don't
younger
know,
brothers.
cousins.
They're not
Cousins.
Yeah, cousins.
Yeah.
They're in there, but they're not nephews. But yes, so they went to New York and they just did a whole run of shows with literally all of my favorite podcasts.
Yeah, man, they did their thing.
So their latest episode is out and they're with Horrible Decisions. And most people will know, like, I am a fan of Mandy B and Wheezy. And it's a jokes episode, but just, they're great. I love what they're doing. Wholeheartedly support them. And we have had Tammy on the show.
Yeah, we
and we would like all of them on the
Yeah,
Rest of
boys,
you
come
lot
on,
need to
guys.
come
You
on.
need to come on. Don't try it.
Yeah,
But, no,
I
this is
watched,
wicked.
I watched an episode and it was a little bit risque.
Yeah.
They had Jim Jones.
Yeah, it
They
was-
had,
it was
what's
very
the Asian
good.
guy's name?
Akash Singh.
Yeah, so they got
who's
some
on
bad boy
Flagrant.
names. Yeah, man.
Yeah, big people.
Big people.
It's
Props to
big.
you guys, man.
And I'd like to spotlight Bashi, the homeboy Bashi. Brap, brap to Bashi. Hey, Ashley Thomas, a.k.a. Bashi.
What is his
Sorry.
actual name?
Ashley Thomas.
Ashley.
Oh, okay.
He's another Ashley.
did
He's
not
another
know.
Ashley.
Yeah.
Love old Ash. He's dropping new music after 10 years. He's busy back. His new song, Sweet Boys Turn Sour, has been dropped today on YouTube. So I say today, it would have been yesterday, I think.
So you can download it now.
Basically, it's out now. And Bashi, big up Bashi, and he's not the average rapper. He's not conscious, but he raps sense.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get some knowledge and bars and insight from this Bashi guy.
Yeah.
And he's also a bad boy actor. We love Bashi. He's a homie. Welcome back.
Big up.
We're
Big
gonna
up,
get
Bashi.
that music soon. And I think
Yes.
we're done.
We are done.
There's that on that.
Don't forget to like.
Light.
Light.
Like or
Light.
light? Light upper. Light upper.
No, don't do that. Don't do
Don't
that,
do that,
kids.
Nick. No.
Don't do that, kids. But don't forget to share, subscribe, comment, and boop.
The like button. But the like button.
And sign up for a $1.99.
$1.99.
YouTube membership. And don't forget, we haven't forgotten you Patreonies. There's content coming your way soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye now.
Okay.